China just admitted that Trump's tariffs are taking a toll on their economy. Think about that. That they have to finally admit that it's taking a toll on their economy. Let me read this to you. China's economy weakened in July with Beijing acknowledging the impact of U.S. tariffs, as stated by Fu Lingyu, spokesman and chief economist of China's National Bureau of Statistics, which Tom's got a very good point to say about that, who noted the international environment in July was complex and severe with the continued impact of trade protectionism and unilateralism. Official data showed industrial output rose 5.7% year over year, down from 6.8% in June. Retail sales growth slowed to 3.7%, the lowest in 2025. And unemployment rose to 5.2%, with millions of college students struggling to find work. Chinese exports to the U.S. fell 22% in July compared to the previous year. Amid ongoing trade negotiations with the Trump administration, the U.S. and China extended a temporary trade truce in May for another 90 days on Monday, keeping U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods at 30%, higher than during the Biden administration, but lower than the 100% rates in April, with Trump administration also closing tariff loopholes like the de minimis exemption and transshipment through third countries. They're feeling the pain. Oh, tariffs are not going to do anything to China. We're going to pay a price for it. Really? That's not what China is saying. Tom, thoughts?
I'll tell you, I have a few thoughts here. China was, how many of you out there, and I'm sure there's people out there, think about this, Vinny. Let's say you have a company and you have one big customer and you really rely on that customer. Mm-hmm. And they go from 20% of your business, 1/3 of your business, 40% of your business. It's like what I used to talk to my dad about. It says, remember, in business, if you owe the bank $10 million, you're in trouble. If you owe them $1 billion, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And so you take a look at this, you have this one giant customer, and then that customer says, hey, we're really having a tough time. We might go into a recession. Who panics? You. You're like, oh my gosh, 40% of my business is relying on this customer. Now this customer is in trouble. That's exactly what's happened to China, because underneath China, they had a poor labor market. They have poor opportunities for the next generation. They have a completely mismanaged real estate industry throughout you see them tearing down apartment buildings that were built to make mini cities in the wrong areas. Yeah. And there was no one to live there. And so they're tearing them down.
Ghost cities.
Guess what was a big Band-Aid on top of it? Another $10 billion of trade with the U.S. It was a big Band-Aid. And what did Trump do? Daddy's home. And so all of a sudden, the U.S. exports fell 1/5 this July versus last July. So people want to know, whoa, you haven't got a trade deal with China yet. You haven't got a trade deal with China yet. They'll be here.
Yeah.
They'll be here. This puts us closer and closer to a deal.
Adam.
Yeah, Tom's absolutely right. If you see what's going on, there's slow growth. There's exports have dropped significantly. They have empty ships without cargo. Factories are laying off work. I think they actually just played like, let's make a deal to try to inflate these ghost cities with real estate. They're basically saying, listen, guys, we're going to give you half off. We're going to give you subsidies. Buy some of these apartments because there's nobody living there. So imagine building apartments all around Nebraska, Omaha, Iowa. You're doing all these cities and then nobody's moving there. And now they're like, we'll give you half off.
Come work at the factory. Free apartment.
Please.
Yeah.
So free. Where have I heard that before? Communism. So yeah, Tom's absolutely right. China's going to feel the heat. I don't think they've succumbed to the full deal yet, but it'll happen. Tom, great point. If, 25, 50% of your deals that come through one customer, you have a major problem if that customer stops buying.
Trump, while this is taking place, says no imminent plan to penalize China for buying Russia oil. Rob, I think you have a clip on this one here. He says that while saying at the same time, semiconductor tariffs are coming soon. And you know how high they could reach, according to Bloomberg? 300%. 300%. Wow. So what is he doing? Here's him and Bill and Brett Baer. Go ahead, Rob.
That Putin comes to this table maybe in an economic pinch, and that maybe the things you've already done have put him in an economic pitch. Is there an economic side to this, as Russia hoping to open up to the world?
Well, he lost an oil client, so to speak, which is India, which was doing about 40% of the oil. China, as you know, is doing a lot. and others. I have another few countries. And if I did what's called a secondary sanction or a secondary tariff, it would be, very devastating from their standpoint. If I have to do it, I'll do it. Maybe I won't have to do it.
It's typical Trump. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have to do it. I won't.
Yeah,
do it.
maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't do it. But the reality of it is this is also leading to, once Russia-Ukraine is solved, then tariff is solved. Semiconductors are part of the tariff issue because, that's also him trying to negotiate a future peace deal between China and Taiwan, which China is watching very closely on everything that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, because China knows their Ukraine is Taiwan, and they're watching that in a way to see what they're going to be doing next.
Correct.
All eyes on Russia, Ukraine, Zelensky, Putin, all of that going on from China's perspective. Tom, your thoughts?
Final
on this?
thought on semiconductors, Make it real quick. Trump cleared the boards of regulation and to allow semiconductors to come back to the United States. They want TMSC, Taiwan Semiconductor Company. They want to be here. A factory was started in Arizona under Biden, as a matter of fact, the CHIPS Act. But now what Trump is saying, what Trump is also saying? He's putting the American semiconductor industry on the clock, saying, you said you were going to build your factories here. Get on with it. Build, baby, build, because as soon as he puts the tariffs over there, it's expensive unless they're made here.
That's right. Now, part of this is also, Apple, $600 billion, all these other companies that made the promises. Pressures on a lot of people because he's moving faster than businesses are. And businesses are not accustomed to the government, the White House moving faster than them. But there happens to be an entrepreneur in the White House who's accustomed to moving fast. And they're not fans of that. There's a lot of things that's going on right now in the marketplace. Tomorrow night, the 19th, Tuesday night, the 19th at 6 p.m., free webinar, 20 threats, 20 business threats you cannot ignore in 2025. We do this every year, and it's a new one every single year that we go through. I highly, highly recommend, if you're somebody that runs a small business, you're an executive with a company, or somebody that's an entrepreneur, you're running a business, you're planning on doing something for yourself, whatever you do not miss tomorrow night's webinar at 6 p.m., August 19th. Again, 6 p.m., everybody at the end gets the white paper of the 20 threats. Everybody gets the white paper of the 20 threats and a couple other items that we'll be discussing on that. Rob, the link for it is vtwebinar.com. Go to vtwebinar.com to register for the webinar. Again, vtwebinar.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.